Alexa, connect to Sofia's iPhone. Hello, welcome to Full Body Mat Pilates. My name is Sofia and I'll be guiding you through your class today. All you need today is a mat. We won't be using any props and we'll get started seated at our mat. All right. So come onto your seat towards the top of your mat. Plant your feet out in front of you, hip distance apart, about a foot or so and a foot and a half away from your sit bones. Grab onto behind your knees at your thighs and take a deep breath in as you sit up nice and tall. Open mouth, exhale, push the breath out. As you do so, feel your belly start to engage. Now breathe into your upper rib cage. Diaphragmatic Pilates breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, drawing your belly in a little tighter, a little stronger. Let's try that again. Inhale, diaphragmatic breathing, laterally, right and left, forward and back. Inhale. And open mouth, exhale. Now notice, just sitting here is a considerable amount of strength and engagement in the abdominals. So think about that, even just seated. Take an inhale breath. Let's move on. As you exhale, begin to keep this length, but curl your pelvis forward, moving into a C-curve position. Let your arms extend as you roll back. Once your arms are at the full extension, use your inhale breath to curl forward and sit up nice and tall. Deep breath in. Exhale, we scoop the pelvis as we lean back, roll back. And then inhale, draw it back forward, sitting up nice and tall. So starting with a little spinal mobility, a little abdominal warm-up. Use your hands to support you, but try to be as light as possible. And then inhale, back up. You should feel your core working hard, even with the support of your hands. So we scoop it back, roll back, and then inhale, roll forward. 2 more times like that. Breathe in. Breathe out to scoop and tuck, round down. Inhale, draw it back up, sit up nice and tall. Last one, we'll hold it. Exhale to scoop and roll. From here, grab onto your feet. You can take a step in if you need to. Rest your left forearm on the ground, followed by your right. Press into your palms and your forearms and pick up and lift your chest, drawing your chin in to keep the back of your neck long. Keep the scoop of your pelvis. From here, be light on your left forearm. Reach your left forearm towards your knee and then return it back. Same thing with the right. Right forearm forward and back. Alternate. Left hand, back. Right hand, back. You're trying not to sway side to side, which is the challenge. Being very light on your forearms because eventually we'll do both hands in about 6 counts. Last 5. Keep your chest nice and even and your knees pointing directly to the sky. We're here for 4. Both arms in 3, 2, on 1. Now both arms reach forward. Keep that position of your upper body. Exhale, bring it back without falling forward. And back is more challenging than it seems. Forward and back. Whew. Here for 4. Last 3. I've done this 3 times this week, so feeling it too. And last 1. Hold it here. Scoop forward. Sit up nice and tall. Take a deep breath in here. Now reach one hand forward, one hand out in front of you. You can either stay here with your knees bent or straighten your legs. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Now we scoop and lower down without the assistance of the arms. However, you can use them if you want to. All the way down, 1 vertebra at a time, finding the imprint of every notch of your spine against the floor. Take a full body stretch. Inhale your arms overhead, your toes forward. Let yourself arc off the ground. Just a nice little stretch to reset. And then pull your abdominals in. Find your hook position. 1 knee bends, followed by the other. Scoop your pelvis forward to find your neutral line of your spine. Continue to reach your arms overhead. Let your knees fall to the left as you tilt your chin to the right. Little stretch in between the exercise is good to maintain that long, lean muscle tone. Come through center And exhale, let your knees fall to the right. As you gaze left, stretching your left side body. It feels so glorious. Let's do it one more time. Inhale. Exhale, up and over to the left gaze, right? Inhale, center. Exhale, over to the right gaze, left. All right, come through center here. Slide your hands behind your head with your palms stacked. Avoid interlacing your fingers. So palms stacked at your skull. Lift your right shin to tabletop, followed by your left. Moving into footwork that mimics what we would do on the reformer. Bring your heels together, toes apart, and separate your knees in a diagonal towards your underarms. Take a deep breath in here. As you exhale, lift your chest, gaze towards your feet. Try to hover your shoulders off of the ground. Inhale, straighten your legs to a diagonal, zipping up your inner thighs. Exhale, bring it back in, knees separate. Again, inhale, reach out to the diagonal, inner thighs engage. Exhale, bring it in. Keep going like that. Inhale out, exhale in. Try to straighten through your legs as much as possible. If at any point this becomes too much for your neck, you can always lower your head down. Or another option is to slide your hands underneath your seat, providing yourself a little bit more assistance in your arms to keep the alignment of your pelvis. We want to keep our neutral alignment as much as possible. We're here for 4. Last 3. Out. The lower you go, the more challenging it is. The higher you go, the less challenging. Last 2. And 1. Bring it back in. Now parallel your feet, point your toes, reach it out in parallel, and then back in. Just like that. Out and in. Take the modifications that serve you. Keep your head heavy in your hands. We're here for 4 more. And then we have 1 more variation. 3. Find a length through your legs. 2. Last 1. Bring it in. Keep your feet parallel, but now flex your feet. Move through your heels. Out and in. Out into a diagonal, leading with your heels and in. Lower belly, trembling here for 4. And in. 3. And in. 2. And then we're going to hold it out on 1. Hold it out. Point your toes. Flex your feet. Point and flex. Here for 4. 3. Really flex. 2. Feel a stretch on your calves. Last 1. Point your toes. Bring it in. Lower your head down for a moment. Keep your feet together. Knees separate in towards your underarms as you rock side to side, massaging your lower back. Scoop yourself around in a circle to the right and to the left. Breathe in. And breathe out. All right, bring your left shin to tabletop, followed by your right. Reach your hands over your shoulders. Take an inhale breath here. Exhale, chest lift. Reach towards the top of your mat. Begin to slap your arms, or rather pump your arms down, moving into our hundreds. It's a breath in for 5 through the nose, and a breath out of the mouth for 5 counts. Let's begin. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue to move through these motions. You have the option to stay here, or straighten your legs to the sky, or lower your feet in a diagonal. It can always also be a combo of the 2. 5 counts in a diagonal, 5 counts knees bent. As you pump your arms up and down, avoid swaying your chest or your head. You're only moving from your shoulder, using the strength of your tricep as you reach forward towards the top of your mat. Here for 50 more counts. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you feel fatigued, 1 hand behind your head is a nice variation, or you can lower your head down. You can also bring your feet to the floor. 20 more counts. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 10. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stay lifted. Lower your head to the ground. Hug your knees into your chest. Separate your knees to broaden your lower back. And once again, sway side to side. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Inhale. Exhale, breath. I love a little rock. All right, let's do one more supine exercise before we move to our seated work. So bring your knees together into tabletop. Hands behind your head once again. Take a deep breath in here. As you exhale, move into a basic chest lift. Gaze towards your belly button. Inhale, lower. Maintain your neutral pelvis. So hip bones point to the sky. A little bit of space underneath your low back. And then lower down. As you lift up, feel your shoulders hover. Be empty your breath at the top. And then inhale to lower. 4 more times like that. Lift and lower down as you inhale. Exhale, lift. Be empty at the top. And lower it down. Last 2. We'll stay lifted. And lower. Final 1. Stay lifted here. Stay lifted. Keep your right knee in. Straighten your left leg out. And then switch. Single leg stretch. We inhale. Inhale, followed by an exhale. Exhale. You can either stay here, hands behind your head, or bring your hands to your shins, using your arms to pick yourself up a little higher. And then you keep switching. Keep your legs on gears. We're here for 8. Last 7. Transition your hands behind your head before I get to 1. We're here for 5 more counts. 4. Hands behind your head in 3, 2, on 1, we add rotation, elbow to knee, and then switch, moving into crisscross, switch, and switch. Steady your hips on the floor, and think of rainbowing your shoulder to your hip, so you stay nice and lifted. We're here for 6, 5, 4, we'll meet in center in 3, 2, on 1, stay in center, pulse it out for 8, 7, ground down to your pelvis, nice and heavy. 5, 4, little movement. 3, 2, on 1, stay lifted, hug your knees into your chest. Separate your knees once again, sway side to side. Breathe in. And breathe out. Whew. Wow, what a combo of movements to get yourself warmed up. Abdominals on fire. Plant your feet on the floor. Straighten your right leg out, followed by your left. Or you can keep your knees bent. Roll up for transition. Inhale your arms toward the sky. Exhale, chest lift, gaze towards your toes, and roll yourself up. Ooh, after all that work, that was more challenging. Take a forward fold stretch. Just a deep breath in, find a little length in your spine. And exhale, round down and stretch. Even as you stretch, think of keeping your core engaged so that your lower back and the back line of your body keeps open a bit more. Now we soften your knees here. Breathe in and breathe out. A little water break. Cheers. Happy Friday. All right, from here, moving into our seated work. I'm going to face you. So, spine stretch is next. Separate your feet a little wider than your hips. Reach your arms forward parallel to the floor as if your arms were on a shelf. They do not move. If you tend to round forward, you have tight hamstrings, give that little bit of a round. You can always soften your knees or even have a seat on a bolster, something a little padded. I like to use a rolled up beach towel underneath your seat so that you can tip your pelvis bowl forward. From here, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, keep this length in your spine. Think of diving the crown of your head towards your knees. Exhale over and down, reaching your hands beyond your toes. Inhale, we roll up to a seat. And exhale, repeat, forward and down. Breathe in as you roll up. Breathe out. Moving into your spine stretch. Inhale. Exhale, repeat. 4 more times like that. Inhale, we step. Exhale, forward and down, stretch. Breathe in. Exhale, forward and down. 2 more like that. Inhale, breath. Are your arms active? Exhale, forward and down. Keep them parallel to the floor. Last one. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, we stack up. Draw your right arm to the right, left arm to the left, and open your legs a little wider. I'm going to scoot back so that we have a full view in the video. Take a deep breath in. Once again, sitting up nice and tall, taking modifications as you need. Moving into spine twist. As we exhale, rotate your chest towards the right. Take 2 exhale breaths. Shh, shh, as you find a little bit more range of motion. And swivel in through the center. Rotate on the axis of your spine to the left side as you exhale. And take 2 exhale. Shh, shh. So it's an inhale center, exhale rotate and pulse. Shh. Inhale center, exhale rotate and pulse. Shh. If this is too much for your arms, you can place your hands behind your head or even bring your hands to your heart center. But think of as you rotate, keeping your arms exactly where they are so that you're not using your shoulders to think that you're finding more rotation than you actually are. All the rotation comes from your obliques and from just the rotation, range of motion of your spinal rotation. Inhale center, exhale rotate. Each time you're thinking of lifting the belly off of the thighs, so we're using abdominals just to sit up nice and tall. Let's repeat 3 more on each side. Inhale center, exhale rotate, pulse. Center. Also keep your feet exactly where they are, so there's a tendency for one leg to kind of jump back. Keep them nice and grounded. 1 more on each side, and then we move into our saw. That's our progression. All right, come through center, moving into saw. We rotate to the left. Think of spine stretch. Arch over and down, forehead towards your knee. Slide your right hand towards your left pinky toe. Press into your pinky toe to find a little bit more rotation. You can gaze back at your left palm. Then inhale, you roll up, sit up nice and tall. Come through center, and then repeat on the other side. You rotate, scoop and fold, round down, hand to pinky toe, rotate a bit more, and then you round up and come through center. It becomes a flow. You rotate and scoop, round up and center, rotate and scoop, round up and center. Keep going like that. So it's a combination, again, of our twists and our spine stretch. Like you're doing a seated crunch, essentially, on yourself, getting into your obliques. I like to sway my arms, make it a little bit more of a dance, a flow. Use your breath. Inhale, exhale, continue your exhale, and then breathe in. Yes. Keep going. 3 more on each side. Woo. Oh yeah, feeling it. It's also a nice stretch for your hamstrings. Last 2. Shoulders down your back. Last 1. Come through center. Hold it here. Bring your feet together. We'll transition to our next exercise. Slide your hands behind your back. I'm going to scoot to face the front of the room, the front door for me, so that you can see me from this view. Hands behind you. Either face your fingers towards your hips or out to a T. Avoid facing them behind you, all the way behind you, like a little diagonal forward. Open across your chest, and again, lift your belly off of your thighs, sit nice and tall. From here, bend your right knee into hook position, followed by your left, with your feet hip distance apart. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, scoop your pelvis forward, lift your hips into a reverse tabletop. Either look up or forward. Avoid letting your head fall back to avoid hyperextension in your neck. You lower your hips down, and as you do so, bend your elbows straight back, and then lift back up to your reverse tabletop. So we lower down, tap, and lift. This is a tricep dip. Now we're getting into our triceps. We're going to add on here. This is going to be a combo of 2 exercises. Let's repeat this 2 more times. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. Now stay lifted, shoulders down your back. Straighten your right leg out in front of you, followed by your left. Keep on picking up your hips. You can also do this from a bent knee position. Extend your right leg up and lower it down. Left leg up, and then you lower using your core. Now we change. Bend your right knee. Plant your foot on the ground. Bend your left knee. Place your foot on the ground. Now you're in reverse tabletop. Lift. We lower 2 times and lift, lower and lift. And then we repeat that reverse plank sequence. So straighten your left leg, straighten your right leg. Take your left leg up and lower. Right leg up and lower. Left knee bends. plant it down. Right knee bends, plant it down. Repeat. Let's do this 2 more times. Lift and lower. Lift. Hold it here. Right leg out. Left leg out. Kick. Kick. If you have sensitive knees, then avoid doing this from the straight leg position. Do this from a bent leg position. So you can just kick up, and continue doing that. And then we lower. And lift. Lower. And lift. Last time, left side. Extend. Extend. Kick. Kick. Bend your left knee. Bend your right knee. And double tap. Woo. Last time, we hold it down, sit forward, extend your legs straight, inhale your arms overhead, exhale forward fold. We'll take a little stretch for our shoulders, so inhale your roll up. Draw your right arm across your chest, grab onto your shoulder, and then just press your shoulders down your back. Take a deep breath in, just sway your head side to side, be very mindful and slow in your movements. And then switch it out, other arm across your body. We will be doing some planks later in class. This is a nice chance to open our chest and stretch our forearms before we get into that series. All right, from here, hands behind your head. Moving into our neck pull. It's a combo of a roll down and also a spine stretch. To modify, you can bend your knees. You can also place your hands behind your thighs, or use the roll down arms instead of hands behind your head. Hands behind your head is a considerably more challenging variation. From here, we sit up nice and tall and bend my knees. And then you hinge back. When you can't hinge any further, then you tuck, scoop your pelvis, and then lower all the way down. Inhale here. This is where it gets hard. Exhale, chin to chest. Either keep your hands behind your head as you roll up, or modify one hand or both hands forward, then return your hands behind your head. Keep that scoop as you round forward. This is why it's called neck pull. However, we are not pulling on our neck. We're just thinking of reaching our forehead towards our toes. And then you step back up, inhale, exhale, hinge. Woo, we can't get any further. Scoop it around, bring it down, breathe in. Exhale, lift, reach to your toes, and then roll up, hands behind your head. So another variation you can take here is arms forward, and then just the traditional roll down, scoop and lower down. Keep your ribs knitted as you reach your arms overhead, and then come into your roll. Keep your belly scooped in as you reach forward. Also, bent knees is a good variation here. You can do the same thing with bent knees. So lots of different options in Pilates. Work on your progression of where you're at today. Also grab onto your thighs. So many options here. Let's repeat this 2 more times. I'm going to go into the full neck pull. So lean back. Scoop it around. Inhale here. Exhale, lift. I need to modify for the lift, but then I return my hands behind my head and fold forward. Last one, we'll hold it down. So lean, sit up tall, lean back, and then scoop and round. All right, hold it here. Take a full body stretch. Breathe in. And breathe out. All right, moving into our leg circles. We're going to take a challenging variation today. But to modify, you bring your arms up to a T and hold them here. For the challenge, hands behind your head, avoid stacking your palms. You can bend your left knee as you send your right leg to the sky, or keep your bottom leg on the floor extended. You can inhale, breath. Exhale, chest lift, gaze towards your belly button. Moving into our leg circles, draw your right leg across your body. Down, out to the right, and then back to center. So left, down, right, and center. As if I was drawing a magic circle on the ceiling with my toes. Or you can even reduce the range of motion and make it smaller. You can make it bigger as long as you can keep your hips stable. That's what we're working on. Core engagement, pelvic stability. Let's go for one more on this direction, and then we reverse it, opposite direction. Head heavy in your hands. Bottom leg is very active. You're pressing your heel into the ground, either flex or point your toes, but your hips are squared. Last 2. On 1, hold it here up. Draw your left leg up as well and lift your shoulders nice and high. Drop your right heel down, nose towards your left knee, and then switch it out. You can either stay here for scissors or hands behind your thighs, lifting your shoulders a little higher. Higher as you switch. Here for 8, 7, 6. Keeping your left leg in front in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Left leg out, right leg down, hands behind your head. You can reset if you need to, and then move into your leg circles. When you're ready, lift your chest. Remember, bottom leg is super active. I feel like flexing your bottom leg, taking your heel into the floor, keeps your hips more squared. But if the point works better for you, do that. Here for 3, 2, 1, and we reverse, opposite direction. Ooh, this is very challenging. You can take a break and come back into it. We're here for 4, 3. Keep your side body nice and long on each side. Arms to a T is a nice variation as well to modify. 2 and 1. Hold it here. Bring both legs up. Scoot your shoulders a little higher. This time, drop your left side down. Hands to the outside of your right thigh as you rotate to the right. Stay lifted as you switch. Rotate to the left. Center and switch. Center and switch. So it's like a scissor crisscross. From here, hands behind your head, or keep doing what I showed you in the beginning with your hands to your thighs, finding a little bit more rotation for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in, hold it in, reach for your toes, just hold. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Use into your chest as you lower your head down, feet together, knees apart, rock side to side. Breathe in and breathe out. All right, before we move on, I'm gonna grab a quick sip of water. Feel free to do so if you need to. Stay on your back, so supine. We'll move into some bridge work before we move on. So, to prepare for bridge, walk your heels in to hook position. Heels in line with your sit bones. Knees separate hip distance apart. Lower your hands down by your sides. Palms flat and wide. Press into your palms actively so much that your tricep lifts off the floor. Breathe in here. Exhale, bridge. Scoop your pelvis forward. Imprint your lower back to the mat. And then slowly trail your spine up, one vertebra at a time, moving into your bridge. Send energy out of your thighs. Continue to brace through your core, so you're creating more of a hammock shape in your midsection versus an arch. It's not like a yoga bridge. This is more an abdominal focused bridge. This is just our prep. Take an inhale here. Exhale, slowly take it down like a snake. Slither down one vertebra at a time. So we just found the articulation. Breathe in at the bottom. Avoid looking side to side now. Listen to my cues. And then scoop and lift up for the count of 2. Scoop and lower down for the count of 2. So it's a lift and lower for 2. Keep the articulation and bring it down. Let's repeat it 4 more times. We scoop and lift. Round and lower. Scoop and lift, articulate up. Scoop and lower. Are your arms active? Keep them active and your chest open. We'll stay up in 2. Feel your hamstrings ignite as you press into your heels. Also press into your big toes as well, so your feet are active in this exercise. Now stay lifted. Break at your hips. Hinge. You can tap or hover on the floor and then push them straight up. So the hinge, lower and lift. Lower and lift. Feel the smile of your glutes. Squeeze as you lift your hips. Active through your arms. Woo. Feeling it now. Here for 4. We'll stay lifted in 3, 2. On 1, stay lifted. It's a little pulse. Little pulse at top range for 6, 5, 4, 3. Stay lifted. 2. On 1, bring your knees together, keep your feet apart, hinge and tap, and lift straight up. Hinge and tap, and lift. As your inner thighs knees together, you're engaging your inner thigh adductors to connect to your lower belly and your pelvic floor. But we're also using our glutes as well as our outer hips. Here for 4 more. We'll stay lifted in 3. That's the combo. Lift and lower, and then a pulse at the top. We hold and pulse. Pulse for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your hips down. Now toe heel your feet together. Separate your knees to the outer edges of the room. Take a deep breath in. Not like a full butterfly, a little bit more narrow. Now we lift up in this position, kind of strange, and then tuck and lower. Lift and lower. You'll feel your upper inner thigh working oh so hard to stabilize your hips. Because essentially, like an elevator, we want to lift up and down without swaying side to side. Here for 4 more. We'll pulse it out in 3, 2, on 1. Lift it up, pulse it out. Pulse 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down. Keep your feet together. Let your knees separate. Open your arms to a T. Take a deep breath in. And a breath out. Inhale, gaze to the left. Let your knees fall to the right side. You can kind of stagger them or you can cross your top leg over your bottom leg. A little stretch with your outer hip. Uncross your legs, come back to center, and then opposite side. I like to hook bottom or top leg in so that you get a nice stretch on your outer hip after all that work. That feels so good. All right, come to center. Take a full body stretch of your upper body, and then roll on to your left side. Let's start on the left side, so we're facing the same direction. Moving into your sideline work. Scoot back until your back aligns with the back edge of your mat, and then straighten your legs out in front of you so that your hips are in line with your ankles, and you should be able to see your toes in your periphery. Option 1, rest your head on your bottom arm, picking up your bottom rib off of the floor. But today, the variation I offer you is on the forearm. So forearm, ground down, press your shoulder away from your ear, and stack your shoulder over your elbow. So you're not here or here, but you're nice and stacked, creating that nice triangle underneath your body. And again, we're not hanging out at the beach. This is so comfortable. We're picking our ribs up, giving that nice vertical line of energy. Top hand in front of you like a tripod or to your hip. That's super challenging. Pick up your top leg, feet are flexed. You need to move in the water bottle. From here, we send our leg forward. 2 exhales. With your foot flexed, then point your toe and sweep it back behind you into extension of your hip. So behind your body. Exhale forward. 2 counts, 2 breaths, and then sweep and stretch. Keep going like that. Forward, forward, and back. That goes like this. Keep going. So notice how you're using your bottom hand a lot. Woo. Once I release it, I kind of fall out of alignment. Use your obliques to steady yourself and keep your top leg in line with your hip. It's nice to have the video of yourself in front of you so that you can see yourself working. Let's go for 2 more here. Flex, flex, sweep and point. Flex, flex, sweep and point. All right, come back through center. Flex your ankle. Now rotate your heel down, toes up. And then alternate, toes down, heel up. Alternate and alternate. So we're going from external rotation of the hip to internal rotation, and that's it. Your bottom arm might start to feel fatigued. Your shoulder is working super hard. So if you need to, you can always lower onto your elbow. Right? I like to do this variation because then my bicep is working instead of here where it's just nice and long. Let's go for 4, 3, and we'll come back into the lifted variation. 2, on 1, hold it here, heels in, toes out. Bring your bottom heel to touch, and then just lift and lower. Lift and lower for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That's it. Rub it out. Roll into your belly here. Roll into your belly. Stack your palms underneath your forehead. Rest your forehead on your palms. Inch your toes to the top of your mat and press into your pubic bone. Take an exhale breath. Inhale, swan press. Lift your chest forward and up, keeping your forehead connected to your palms. Exhale, we lower, and inhale, we lift. So it's just a press. Keep doing it as I talk. Think of lifting with your elbows, inching your spine forward and up, and forward and down. 2 more. Forward and up, like you're trying to crawl your chest forward, and then forward and down. Last one, forward and up, forward and down. Hold it here. Press into your palms, lift your chest, and narrow your elbows in a little bit so they're creating a wide triangle. Press into your forearms, broaden across your shoulder girdle, and tuck your chin in ever so slightly so that your head is not lowered down or overextended. Nice neutral. Activate through your lower body, pubic bone and toes to the mat. Now bend your right knee, pick up your thigh. It's a 2 pulse to lift. And you hold it lifted, straighten your leg, and then lower it down, moving on to the left side, left knee bend. It's a 2 pulse up. Keep it lifted as you straighten your leg, and then reach as you lower. Continue, bend, pulse, pulse, lengthen and lower. Each time I do this, I feel like I'm growing longer in my lower body because each time my toes find a little bit more space forward as I lower them down. So you're creating a little bit more space in your lower back. 1 more on each side. Point. Pulse and lengthen. Last time on the left. Point. Pulse, pulse, lengthen and lower. All right, we're going to add on from here. It's a combo of that. So we'll interlace our hands behind your back. Palms flat so that you can lower your shoulders down. Let's start with the left cheek on the floor. From here, we bend our knees. Lift our thighs off of the floor. So feet together, knees apart. We pulse, pulse. Hold it lifted. Start to pick up your chest. Find a chest expansion. Straighten your legs behind you. So we're in a full extension. And then gaze to the opposite direction. Rebend your knees and lower your shoulders down. Repeat. Pulse, pulse. Stay lifted as you move into your spinal extension. And then opposite direction as you land. Then you start again. Pulse, pulse. Lift, extend, and lower down to the opposite way. Let's do 1 more time. We pulse, pulse. Lift, hold it here in your chest expansion. Hold for 4, 3, core engage. Press into your pubic bone. 2, and 1. We lower it down. Hands underneath the forehead like we started. Forehead to your palms. Let your toes roll in, your heels fold apart. You can also bend your knees and windshield wiper your legs side to side if that feels good. Breathe in and breathe out. From here, we roll onto the right side. However, I'm going to get up and face you. So right side line. From here, same thing you did on the other side. Align the back of your body with the back of your mat. Straighten your legs so your feet are stacked. Prop up onto your forearms if you're taking that variation with me. From here, top leg lift. Anchor through your bottom leg. Flex your foot as you drop forward twice. Point your toes, sweep it back into extension. So flex, pulse, point and lengthen. As you do this exercise, keep your top side body nice and long so you're not breaking this long line of energy. You're keeping it lifted. If you need to modify, you can always lower down to your bottom arm. I noticed in the video, the shoulder and my elbow are not stacked properly. That's important. We want to protect our shoulders. So stacking the joints is just the best use of the structure. Yes, here for 4 more. Flex, flex, point and sweep. Flex, flex, point and sweep. Flex, flex, point and sweep. Flex, point and sweep. 1 more time. Flex, flex, point and sweep. Come back to your center. Flex your ankle. Pivot your heel down, toes up, and then switch. Woo. Switch. Moving from internal rotation to external rotation. Yes, nice and long through your knees. If you need to, you can also modify by bending your bottom knee. That's a nice variation as well. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, on 1. Heels down together, toes apart, and then just lift your butt, lower your bum, top leg. There we go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down. Oh, shake it out. And then lower down to your belly once again. All right, last spine extension exercise. I love spinal extension exercises. You'll always see them in my class. All right, from here, separate your hands in a D position. Pinkies down, thumbs up. Separate your feet a little wider than your hips, to be as wide as your mat. Gaze down at your mat, however, lift your head, drawing your chin in ever so slightly. Moving into slow swimmer. Lift your right arm up. Lift your left leg up. Reach across the room. And then lower it down. Left arm up, right leg up. Reach across the room. And lower. 2 more times slow. Lift. Opposite hand, opposite leg. Reach. And lower. Opposite hand, opposite leg. Reach. And lower. 1 more time slow. Lift. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Lift. And exhale, lower. You can keep doing that, or inhale, lift everything off the floor. Begin to alternate, opposite arm, opposite leg. You can be slow or as fast as you like. However, keep your hips stable, so you're not swaying side to side. It's like you're a scuba Steve in the water, wound up, moving your limbs nice and fast from your hips and your shoulders. The breath is like hundreds. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 10. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And release. Whew. Hands underneath your shoulders. Press yourself up into all fours, quadruped position. Let's take a little stretch. So toes together, knees apart. Bring your hips to your heels for a rest pose. Forehead to the ground. Breathe in. And breathe out. Nice and counterbalance extension with a little flexion. My favorite stretch is the lateral stretch, so let's get into it. Walk your hands off of your mat to the left side. Push down through your hands as you press your hips toward your heels to stretch your right side body. Oh, it feels so good along the ribs, underarms. It even goes into the pec a little bit. Come to the center, opposite side, over to the right side. Push your hips towards your heels. Stretch your left side body. Breathe in and breathe out. All right, come through center. 1 more breath in and breath out. Inhale, all fours, tabletop for quadruped position. Stack your shoulders over your wrists, your knees underneath your hips. Lengthen your spine forward and back like a long tabletop. Press into your entire hand, your fingertips, your knuckles. Distribute the weight across your palms and micro bend your elbows. From here, exhale to cat. Round your spine. Lift your mid back to the sky. You scoop your pelvis down. Inhale, find a nice long tabletop. Either stay here or add a little bit of extension or cow pose. And then exhale back to cat. We'll repeat that a few more times. Inhale, lengthen. And arch if that feels good to you. Exhale, round into cat. Even cat is an abdominal exercise because you're swooping your belly in on itself to round your back. 2 more times like that. Inhale. Exhale, scoop. Inhale. We're going to hold the scoop now. Hold it. We're going to add on. So from here, tuck your toes under. Cover your knees off the floor. 1 inch off the ground. It's called hovering tabletop. Pounce your hips towards your heels. As you exhale, shift back forward. Land in hovering tabletop. Pounce back and bring it forward. So either stay here or we add on. It's called pouncing cat. As you move into your hovering tabletop, 1 knee towards your underarm, and then you pounce back. Opposite knee towards your underarm, and then you pounce back. Whew, let's repeat. 4 more on each side. And back. Getting into our quads, our shoulders. Of course, our abdominals are working on so hard. 3 more on each side. Whew. Keep your shoulders away from your ears so that you're not using your traps. Instead, you're using all the musculature of your shoulder girdle to keep them grounded and organized on your back. All right. Come into your hovering tabletop next. Hovering tabletop hold. Breathe in. Lower your knees down to the floor, untap your toes. Inhale to a little cow pose. Exhale to a cat around your spine. All right, from here, find your quadruped. Step your left foot back. Step your right foot back to high plank. Hold here. You can either stay here or lower to your knees. We just pulse for 10, 9, 8. Press the floor away from you. Keep your hips nice and low. Glutes squeeze. Drive your heels back. 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Tuck your chin to your chest. Lift your hips to the sky. Pike pose. Drop one heel down as you bend your opposite knee. And then switch it out. Right heel down. Bend your left knee. Walk it out. Bend one knee at a time. Whew. Now pause. Soften both knees. Walk your hands towards your feet in 4 steps. Forward fold at the back of your mat. Pull your belly in as you drape your upper body forward and down. Let your skull be heavy. Just a breath here in your forward fold. Releasing, slacking your hamstrings so your lower back can stretch. Tip your weight forward to the balls of your feet. And then lift your heels a paper slice distance up off the ground. And then inhale, slowly begin to roll up, keeping your upper body heavy. Push your tailbone down, and then stack your spine the rest of the way up. Your shoulders are the last thing to arrive. Roll your shoulders down your back. Inhale, your arms overhead. Exhale, we roll down chin to chest. Scoop your belly in as you roll down one vertebra at a time, softening your knees at the bottom. Plant your hands, walk forward, high plank, high push-up position. Shift forward, lower your knees to the ground. Separate your hands wide, thumbs on, pinkies off of the mat. If your knees are on the ground, bend your knees, cross your ankles, and draw your heels in towards your glutes to get your hamstrings active. You can also do this from a high plank. Moving into our push-ups, I'll face you. 2 count as we lower. Lower down for 2. Elbows wide, but in a triangle back. And then you press up for 2. Down for 2, and up for 2. Press into your entire fingertips. Lead with your chest. That's it. Down for 2, up for 2. Down for 2, up for 2. Use your exhale and exertion. So inhale to lower. Exhale to push away. Lower for 2. Lift for 2. Lower for 2. Lift for 2. 2 more like that. Lower for 2. Lift for 2. Lower for 2. Lift for 2. Press back a little. Rest pose. Shift forward. Exhale, high plank, high push-up position. Breathe in. Exhale to your pike. Bend your knees, walk your hands towards your heels, back of your mat. Inhale, we roll up, nice and slow, stacking your spine one vertebra at a time. Traditional roll up, inhale, breath. Exhale, we roll it back down. Plant your hands, walk your hands forward, a high plank, high push-up position. Shift forward, lower to your knees. Second set of push-ups, this time narrow, tricep push-ups. Hands remain where they are. We lower down for 2, elbows point back, and then press up for 2. You can reduce your range of motion just a few inches, and then press. But as you go lower, make sure you don't surpass 90 degrees. So on the side, it looks like this. 90 degrees, we pause, and then press up, so that you're protecting your shoulder head. Down for 2, up for 2. 3 more times, down for 2, up for 2, down for 2, up for 2, last one, down for 2, up for 2, press back, child's pose, breathe in, and breathe out. Inhale, slowly roll up to a seated on your heels. Scoot yourself to one side. Now I'm facing you. Cross your shins out in front of you. Left shin on top. That's how we'll start. Sit up nice and tall, lengthening your ribs off of your head. Reach your left hand towards your left side. Inhale your right hand up and over. And then exhale, move into a little mermaid stretch. Soften your left elbow. You can recline your left elbow all the way to the floor, but you're pressing your hips down to the ground, so you're not lifting up. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, come through center, both arms overhead. Right side, right hand down, left hand up and over, anchoring your opposite hip to the floor. Shoulder down your back. Inhale, come back through center. Now switch your legs, opposite leg on top. Let's repeat that sequence. Right hand down, left hand up and over for a nice mermaid. Inhale up, exhale, forward and back. Inhale your arms overhead. As you exhale, draw your left hand to your right knee. Right hand behind you like a tripod. Press your fingertips in the floor to get a breath in. And as you exhale, rotate your gaze over your right shoulder. You can use your left arm a little bit, but don't crank or force too much. Gaze forward, untwist your shoulders, inhale your arms overhead. Exhale, right hand to your left knee, left hand behind you, sit up nice and tall. And then find your rotation, gaze over your left shoulder. Come through center first with your gaze, then unround your shoulders. Inhale your arms overhead. Exhale, add a little back bend, gaze up. You can even interlace your fingers. Take a deep breath in for chest expansion. Then exhale, a little forward fold. Press your hips towards your heels. As you aim your chest down, you can also do this with your hands behind your back, or just even rest your hands out in front of you. Walk your hands behind you. Let's switch out our legs one more time because that does give a nice little stretch to the outer hip. So inhale your arms overhead. Exhale, little back bend. Option for a chest expansion. Breathe in. And exhale, fold forward. Notice how my feet are flexed. Keep them flexed so they get that nice stretch in the outer hip. Anchor your sit bones to the floor. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale your arms overhead one more time. Exhale your hands to your heart center. Close your eyes. Thank yourself for dedicating your time, your energy, showing up on your mat to move and breathe before you get this beautiful Friday started, Memorial Day weekend started. I thank you for allowing me to guide you. And as a symbol of gratitude, we take a deep breath in together and a breath out. And open your eyes. Give yourself a round of applause. Way to go. I hope you enjoyed class. See you next time. Tomorrow I teach at 11 a.m. a flow sculpt class. Grab your weights.